It is. I do this every time.
And so it begins.
Memorable moments with Metro Melik. To my right, to your left is Darryl Evans. Darryl Quentin Evans. You don't use the Quentin as much anymore.
No, not as much.
Man, you're sharp dressed. Holy wow.
It's my everyday thing. Whatever do you mean, sir?
And I don't know how long we've known each other. I keep doing this all the time. This is so. The reason why I do this, I kind of skip through life. Things happen, and then years later, people are like, "Well, how'd you meet?" And I go, "He's just cool." I don't. And then you go, "Well, where'd you meet?" I don't know. And all these things, and then somebody be like, "Well, what about such and such?" I'm like, "I don't, bro. Like, if he's here now or they're here now, that means they've been cool the whole time."
I would agree. I do remember how we met, though.
All right, so let's start there. Well, no, let's before we start how we met. What do you do? I'm Metro Melik of MetroMelik.com. You are Darryl Evans of
Pure Enchantment Photography.
Okay.
So I own a photography company here in the Lansing area, but we travel all over the world, and we provide photography services for absolutely everybody for everything. So.
And that is true. I'm not gonna blow up your spot.
No worries, no worries. But which is a great segue into how we met.
Okay.
Because I was actually hired by someone to take pictures of you, promo pictures of you. So our very first interaction was way back, and I took pictures of you downtown Lansing.
That's how it started.
Yes.
I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're still here. I mean, it's not... It goes in line with what I say. And I was just telling somebody earlier, I'm trying to be a better person, be a better friend. Because anyone that is a friend to me is better being at friends than what I am. I have a bad habit of not saying hi and checking in. I don't do it, and I suck at it. But when someone checks in with me, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah. And I've developed a new habit. When somebody goes, hey, let's get together, I'm like, put it on the calendar now.
100%. 100%. Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Because I know how I am.
Same. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist.
It does not exist. So, and then it's 2 years later.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, hey, I haven't seen you in 2 years. And I'm like, we didn't put it on the calendar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so now I'm trying to be better at reaching out and putting things on the calendar. So yes. That's what it happened. That was the beginning, and that was 10, 20 years ago. 20-ish years ago.
Yeah.
Beginning of 2000s.
Yeah.
So a long time ago.
Yeah.
And lots of changes. All right. So before, and I mean that positively because I'm looking at you right now and I'm like, oh, man, you pretty. Wear it well. So, so
Something
I'm
about
glad.
not cracking or something.
I'm glad that you have this space. You're still doing your photography that brings you joy. You're you're transcending, and life is you can't push the river, but we are a river, and the river of time. And I understand time is a human-made construct, but still there is an end date, and we all have an end date. So you're in the middle, and I see that you're still able to stand up, keep a smile, stay positive, and through it all, and that's commendable, and I applaud you. So
I appreciate that,
and I mean that. So that's.
Yeah.
There's your flowers while you're alive.
I appreciate that. Absolutely.
So we're here for what I live my life like a butterfly, it seems. I've had a lot of great experiences and a cornucopia of great stuff and wonderful people like you in my life. What is your most memorable moment that you care to share?
So I'm gonna say this. I had to look through all of them, and I had to go, okay. So what's the most memorable moments? What are the moments that I can share that are memorable moments? Because some of them are not shareable. But
I don't know which one is not exactly shareable.
So
I know one your mama was mad at me, and I don't know if that's the one.
Which 2 dozen of those are those? I mean, listen. you have to keep in mind that when I was married, I was forbidden to hang out with you for a hot minute because we got in trouble.
We didn't get in like marriage breakup trouble.
No, not that kind of trouble, but there were things. there was stuff. like I could throw out some stuff that you could cut out later.
I'm not. But this is live to tape.
Right. That's why there's that hesitation. There's a little stutter step there.
I mean, there is no infidelity.
No.
Let's make it clear. There was no infidelity. Yep. I did not try to.
Yep, you never led me down that path.
Led you down to paths of disrespecting the house.
Correct. I mean, there may have been like going to a train station in a city. And,
those type of things where you might.
It was a question whether I was going to make it back or not. I mean.
Yes, they're definitely.
Which is a good segue because that's one of the stories that I'm going to use. Yeah. So I'm going to jump in and break that wall and just say, if you saw the look on his face when I said that, because there's a few of those and he doesn't know which one, which is fun. So just to let you off the hook, it's going to be the Lake Huron out on the ice shelf.
I don't know if that one's better.
No, it's not.
It might be worse.
There's a couple.
Well, that one
is bad.
Oh, that one's bad.
But the funny thing about it is, so let me tell the story because otherwise it's going to be one of those things. So we decided to go to Lake Huron. Well, you decided to go to Lake Huron. Asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, bet. I had never been out there.
Was it a day trip?
It was supposed to be a day trip, but we ended up staying. Yeah. So we stayed at friends and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
us go to Michigan.
Yeah. So we drove out there. Drive was great, listening to music, chopping it up, laughing, having a good time. And so
That's where my Deliverance picture came in, with the bus.
Yes, 100%, because on the way. Yeah.
Darryl has a habit of falling asleep.
I don't know what you mean.
He will get in the car and talk your ear off for about 36 minutes. And then the next thing you know, it's silent. And I'm like...
Guilty.
And I used to cut through 13 to go to Saginaw for the scenery. It's not a shortcut anymore because 75 is 70 miles an hour. 13 was a habit that I developed when my mom was still alive. And there was a church, and there was this bus.
Yep.
And the point of talk about him sleeping, stop! And he's like...
Of many times. Oh, yeah.
So if you look at my website, metromelik.com, there's a picture. There should be a picture that happened in Saginaw.
Yeah. Great picture, by the way.
Yeah.
Great picture. As a matter of fact, we had a great shoot when we were in Saginaw. Like, we went around to that train station.
Oh, yeah.
Train station, but that train station, and there was like a bunch of great scenery down there.
Oh, yeah.
I got a picture of a couple of bald eagles down by the river and down by a bridge. Like,
well, that was another train trestle that we shouldn't have been on.
I don't know what you mean. So anyhow,
allegedly.
I mean, that's what I heard. So needless to say, we pull into this. It's like a park.
Yeah,
it's like a park.
And it's a park in Oscoda Beach.
Yeah. Park. And so we went to the boardwalk first.
Yep.
Boardwalk was absolutely gorgeous. I believe the sun was coming up.
Yep, because it's on the sunrise side.
Yep. And so it's purples and oranges and yellows, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And we're snapping pictures. And we look, and we can see the ice out, and it's these big, beautiful chunks of ice bobbing in the water.
Thick.
And we're like, gotta get the shot. And I don't know, you can remind me if you want to, but I don't know that we actually said anything to each other. I believe we just kind of looked at each other and we're like...
We have done this often enough that we know that we're going to get the shot.
Yeah.
We knew. And so both being in the adventurous side of photography and my philosophy, do whatever you have to do to get the shot.
Same, 100%. And so we make a beeline. And so we're walking and we're walking and we're walking. And we finally, and I mean for a while we're walking, we finally get out and we can see, and what looked like pieces this big from the
walking
boardwalk.
far enough that the beach looks tiny.
Right.
And the houses look small.
So, and to be fair, to give it more context, because this will play later, the beach itself looked really, really long.
Wide.
And then we figured that, you know, we're out over, you know, the 5 feet of water, what have you, because, you know, we're out. And so, you know, we're out there. These big, beautiful chunks of ice are bobbing in the water. They're gorgeous. The sun is coming up. It's shooting through. We're grabbing shots. We're grabbing video. We're talking back and forth.
Yes.
It was absolutely phenomenal. One of the best ice shoots I've ever taken before and since. And so we get done with that. We're freezing cold. We go. We meet with people. We talk with people. We have breakfast, the whole nine. We actually stay over. And then the next day, we're headed back out there. And we pass by this guy and his dog. And his dog is soaking wet. And we're like, oh, he jumped in the water. And he was like, no, he fell in one of the holes. And we said, fell in one of the holes? And he said, yeah.
But this had to have been after we got the sunrise shot. It had to have been.
Well, I'm sure.
Because we went out and got up early to get the sunrise shot the next day.
True. I think we got, this is so bad. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. But I think we got the sunrise shot afterwards. And I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, exactly. Here's what happened. So we said he fell in a hole. And the guy said, yeah, because there's holes all the way out in that ice shelf. And we said, well, where's the ice shelf? And he said, it's almost immediate. There's almost no beach. And we said, what do you mean there's almost no beach? And he said, there's almost no beach. We looked back out there. We had walked out, way out. I would say at least a football field, if not more.
It had to have been more.
Out.
It was a long walk back. It was about a 7 or 8 minute walk back, which means you're talking about a quarter or half mile.
So we're out over easily 50 to more feet of water on this ice shelf where there are holes in the ice shelf. And we looked at each other and we were like, oh. And I mean, what's going through my head, I'm sure what's going through yours is like, we could have been done.
No, I wasn't that smart yet. Because we got to the edge of the ice and I'm like, why is this water going by so fast?
True.
I was like, why is it going by so fast? Because if you're near the shore, water, perspective-wise, goes by slower.
Yeah.
But if you're in the deep end and water's going by, a deep part of the thing, water perspectively and factually goes faster in the deep end because it's not pushing up against the stork. Water is going parallel to the edge of the ice.
Facts.
Right? And I'm looking at it and taking video and stuff. I'm like, that's so cool. Why is it going so fast? That's so cool. Why is it going so fast? Not realizing we're on a shelf that's on water I can't survive in.
Yeah.
That's deep. And I'm not touching the bottom. And I don't have the capacity to touch the bottom.
At all.
I can't swim that well in 72 degree water, let alone 30, 40
if
degree
that,
water, 40
if
degree
that.
water.
Because I mean, it was slush. Like, so this is the bad part is, so we go through all of that.
The bad part.
Right, so we talked with this guy, realized that we were out on an ice shelf, and I'm pretty positive we looked at each other and like, we gonna go out and get the shot? Yep. Yeah. And went back out and got the shot. Knowing good and darn well.
You might have known. You might have known. I didn't know. I knew we were on a shelf, but I didn't know the severity of the shelf.
I 100% did. I 100% did. Which I relayed to my wife that I had then, and she was like, oh, so you went back out there? And I was like, well, see, what had happened was...
He's like, I can't backpedal.
Right. And so that was the first time of many that she was like, listen, no more. And I was like, okay, I understand, you know.
So a year or so later, I am perusing the interwebs,
Mm-hmm.
and I read about ice shelves,
Oh no.
and I send it to you, and I'm like, "Did you know you
Oh,
could
yeah,
died
yeah,
out
yeah.
there?" And you're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't know I knew it was unsafe. I didn't know it was death trap.
Yeah. Like 100%. 100%. But again,
But that ice was feet thick.
in spots. But see, I kept thinking about that dog. I
So
was like,
there's
little 20-pound dog.
so if it breaks, it might fall apart. You have a shift, and those are the things that I you know.
Mm-hmm.
My thought process was like, oh, it's solid because it's solid, but that's shallow lake thinking.
Yeah.
Not ocean thinking. And I
Pretty much.
understand Lake Huron is a lake, but
It's got ocean
ocean-esque.
qualities. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, it wasn't.
That is definitely a memorable moment. I was wondering if that would be the one. And I was also, since you did mention it, I don't know what others there. I know there's another one, but you did mention the train.
Mm-hmm.
Station. And so I want to preface it by saying I love going to Detroit. I love visiting Detroit.
Absolutely.
I don't knock Detroit.
Absolutely.
I have the philosophy that Detroiters say nice things about Detroit. I'm not knocking Detroit. Detroit is also another beast.
Yeah.
I'm from Oscoda. And so when I go to Detroit, I am purposeful about my actions and where I go and what I do for the most part.
Thank you for that.
Well, I mean, it is. I mean, I do things, but I'm also very eyes open and aware.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily for us, so luckily for us, you refuse to go into the train station.
Well, to be fair, I didn't refuse to. The way that was presented to us was not something that I was willing to do because that was more sketchy than an ice shelf. Slightly. But to back up what you were saying about Detroit, like I love Detroit. I think Detroit is beautiful. Detroit is way safer than what people talk about.
Uh-huh.
Detroit is a beautiful, beautiful place. How many? We went out to Detroit
Often.
a dozen times, and
Often.
every single time we got incredible shots. We got shots right by the barge where they were doing the fireworks.
Uh-huh.
We got
Past security.
yeah. Yeah. We got shots at the top of the parking ramps.
Uh-huh.
Way out over the street on top of the parking ramps.
Uh-huh.
We got shots.
Oh.
Yeah. We got shots. We got shots in the alleyway. As a matter of fact, I'll give you this. So that was one of the first times that I really paid attention to your photography. And that's when you really influenced me in my photography. So one of the things that I tell people all the time is, I don't care if it's a 30-year veteran or just picked up a camera yesterday. Whenever I'm shooting with people, I love watching them do their craft because inevitably they're going to have something that is uniquely them that they bring to the table and shoot. And your perspective is not the straightforward cutting edge, or at the very least wasn't. And you had this perspective in the alley that you kind of shot up and over. And I was just like,
that building that had the jut outs along the wall, and I'm laying on my back, and I remember you looking at me funny. I'm like, what the fuck is he looking at? Like, we've been doing this, what's new? And you were like, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm all like, and I couldn't get the angles right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was using grid lines at the time or not. So visually, I couldn't get the angles right until I got it right. And you were staring at me the whole time.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of it because I understood it. I'm like, he's trying to figure out what in the ass I'm doing and why is it taking so long. And then I probably stood up and went like this, and you went, oh.
Well, I knew.
When I go like this, I mean, you show the shot you get.
So I knew what you were doing, but I wasn't sure exactly what you were seeing. And for me, it's almost always that this is what I'm looking at and I'm framing it the right way. And because I've been doing it for so long, I'm kind of stuck in that way. And so when you presented that the way that you did, I was like, ooh, really like that.
So this isn't the pat on the back that it's going to sound like, but when I'll start at the end where I am now and then go back. When I saw that, I immediately knew there was something else.
Yeah.
But I had begun training myself that after I took my class at Lansing Community College and we had these assignments. And the assignments meant everybody did the same thing. And that drove me batty.
Yeah.
I'm like, and not technically. Technically, it helped me. Technically, I went from taking hundreds to possibly thousands of pictures in order to get a few pictures, down to hundreds to get a few. I had finally gotten down to hundreds to get a good picture until I got to like 10s and 20s to get the good picture.
Yeah.
After taking my class, because the technical stuff that I didn't know could add to the artistic vision that I could have, and then I could marry them together and actually get the shot. So all these years later, I've been to places and I've gone and I've looked with what you saw in that moment, and I go, and then I'll take 2 shots because the button, and then I'll walk away, and people are like, "Wait, you're done?" I go, "Yeah."
Yeah, I got what I came for.
I mean, there's for what I see, the way that I see it, there's nothing else for me to do.
Yep.
And that's where I come up with my VVV, varied visual voices.
Yeah.
By Metro Melik. Varied visual voices by Metro Melik, because the visual voice is not, I'm trying to see the anti-perspective. I'm trying to see something that is extraordinary in the ordinary. Yeah. And what you saw in that Detroit moment was the beginnings of that.
Yeah.
So bless you for that, because I'm still not blowing up your spot. I have high regard for this person as a photographer and their technical prowess. I'm saying that wrong, but technical prowess style that he has, and I fully respect. And there's times that I'll nuance to how he does it, but I purposely don't go into how he does it.
Same.
And part of the reason why he's an expert at something that I can't figure out. I can do good, but when he does it the goodest. And if you look at his website, you'll see it without knowing it. And I'm not going to blow up his spot, because it's not it's not what we're doing right here. But I have much respect, because I'll sometimes, I don't have a problem saying this, I'll look at your stuff and be like, I'm stale.
No, not at all.
I feel stale
I appreciate
in my
it.
moment, and then I'll look at Darryl's stuff and go, curse words, curse words, curse words, curse words, curse words, curse words, and then I'll hire you and go, curse words, that's so cool, curse words. I don't know if I would ever gotten that, but that's why I appreciate you giving me a friends and family discount so I can hire you to do the things, because I know the style that you'll be able to get, and I know that you know my personality, and you know, even if you don't know what I'm going through fully at the time, you know how I'm going through it.
Absolutely.
You have an idea of how I'm going through it, and what I want to portray. And so when you find a photographer that you like and you're comfortable with, as I use my Christopher Walken voice, you should stick with that, because it is beneficial to all parties involved.
So I agree, and I appreciate that. I'm going to throw a couple of things in there real quick. So the first is I appreciate your thought process on that stuff. I would say this. When I look at the work that you do, I see you in your work. And so what you see as maybe stale and what have you, I encourage you to take a look at and just say to yourself, this is you. And it may not be the representation of everybody else's normal thing or what have you, but it's you. It's got that snap, it's got that pop, it's got that pizzazz, and even when it's a little darker, a little grittier, what have you, it's kind of got that, like, look, this is what this is. And so for me, it's always a fresh perspective. It's always a nuance, because you have people who say things like, I see this way. And I think about that when I think about Lansing. So you have people who will say, I see things this way. You've always stayed true to your perspective. Always. And so that perspective is that fresh, new, vibrant, you know what I mean, resilient. I see that in your photography all the time. So even if it's something that's similar to something that you did a year ago, 2 years ago, and what have you, I see that little pop of something new. I see that little edge of, you know what, this may be similar, but I've progressed this much further. And so for that, I appreciate that work. And then the other thing that I will say is like, it's always a pleasure to do pictures of you, for you, what have you, because when you step up, you lay it all out on the table. Like all of your cards are right there. It's not, I don't have to guess, I don't have to wonder, I don't have to think about. I know that when you're standing in front of the camera, that's who you are. That's what it's about. And so a lot of times I'll have no idea what you're going through. But in your actions, and some of that is, 30 plus years of doing photography and getting to know your subject immediately, because it's part of the job. But sometimes you'll step in front and I'm like, okay, I see the power, but I also see that little bit of pain. And so which of those do you want to put in the forefront? And sometimes you'll show it. Sometimes it'll be an emotional shoot with your head in your hands, and I can see that, and I'll let you run with it. And sometimes you're trying to get out of that and get to that power, and I'll pull it out, and I'll be like, all right, so show me what you got. Show me what you're made of. And you'll jump up and stand on something, and you'll throw a hat at me, whatever. But you knock it out,
I am going to take the time to go through all the hard drives, unless you have them somewhere more organized than I do, and see if we can find the Darryl Evans of Melik and do a progression for both of us.
Oh, I think that would be amazing.
Because that's 20 years of you evolving, 20 years of me evolving through life.
I think I would love that. I'm going to have to get somebody to do that, because I don't know about you, but I got like 10 terabytes.
Well, it's not 10 terabytes, so it's definitely all over the place.
Yeah, and it's, man. So, but yeah.
It's a thought process. Okay,
it's a beautiful thing.
Darryl Evans of Pure Enchantment Photography, I appreciate you coming through and sharing this with me. I was still surprised, and there's always, it's like a grandpa story, that every time it's told, it's a little bit more nuanced. There's no lies.
No, not at all.
It's just the inflections on the syllables, and I enjoy that.
Yes,
I enjoy that
yes,
so
indeed.
much.
and there's so much more.
This is the short version.
Much shorter.
And I appreciate that. So find him at Pure Enchantment Photography. You can find me at metromelik.com. And I appreciate, that's Malik with an E, and I appreciate it too. That's what's up. Oh my God.
I appreciate you, man.
Oh, that was great. That was great. Oh, the